Okay, trade recap review 22nd January 2024. Let's go with the plan first. So basically, on last Friday, both ES and NQ they ripped up to their all-time highs, closed at the highs, and for the following Monday, my plan basically was if the market was to pull back a little bit, my main areas were I was looking from long anywhere from 40 up until here. I was only looking from longs anywhere here. And then the second thought process was if the market was to resist pulling down even a little bit, I would happily take a long from 40 at 60. But what it decided to do was gap up. So we opened on a gap up, very strong, very bullish case. And then I basically altered my plans to apply some gap rules. I understood because we are opening up on a gap, the prior day high becomes an important area, an important inflection point, and that's why I marked this line, prior day high, gap close. And in addition to my plans, if the market was to hold strong, I was looking for a gap fill reversal in both the ES and the NQ. So that was how maybe I became a little bit creative, how I adjusted to what the market was saying, and added another valid setup, another valid plan to what I was presented with on Monday morning. And then the market opened up. ES open, ripped through its open, took its overnight high, and then maintained value over its overnight high. So this is the most bullish case scenario that you can do when you gap up. Never take down the open, maintain above overnight high. This would have been a beautiful gap and go setup, and this is what I was observing when I was sitting here for the IB. It's almost an hour. Initial balance doesn't trade once through its open and keep over its overnight high, so they were valid setups for gap and go here. The only thing is we are at all-time highs. It almost reaches 4900, 4898. So going for whole numbers and things like psychological levels, we are almost there. And I'm not taking gap and go at the moment, so this was not my trade. I did not take it. Didn't go much further than the high I put in the first half an hour, and that was that. From where it started to roll over, again, nothing to do for me. Anywhere here, it did not close the gap here, even if I do not front run my levels at this point of time, so this was not my trade. Nothing to do. Wait it under here. 1:30, so 4 hours in, the market open. I sat patiently, which I think is one thing I did very well today. And then the market came in at this level of interest, closed the gap, immediately pushed up, and that is when I joined for the long. It did work out. It was a good trade. I joined long on an 8 tick Renko change. It pretty much coincided with the first change in the 5-minute period, which I usually look at. So then I was looking for a 2-to-1. My target was this, which made sense because there was VWAP, there was a ledge. This was the support and resistance from this morning. So basically opening range, and then we broke down of it. And there was a little volume shelf here, a little low volume node. So I had a decent target in mind, had a decent risk reward plan in mind. And then as I was beginning to hesitate, I just said, no, this is my plan, and I had to take it. And I just put aside my hesitation, and I just jumped at the right time with the right process. So another thing I did well, even though I was hesitating, I understood what I was doing and took positive process-based actions. And then the trade just shot up. When I saw this consolidation here, that was when I was starting to get maybe it would not reach the target, and that's why I pulled my stop up here, because this is just way too much congestion. It is in the middle of the chop. And the market, even though it's holding bullish, there's not that much follow through. We just saw a huge rip on last Friday, breaking out to all-time highs out of major 5-week balance. So I was cognizant of the fact that maybe the market needs to digest rather than keep on going higher, higher, higher. And pulled up the stop up here, took it for a 5-point gain, only added as a 1:1 reward to risk, which is not ideal, but I would say in this case there was enough MGI to have taken it off there rather than take the full stop or take it out break even. This was my only trade for the day. I think I did well. And yeah. And then as I was expecting it to roll over, if it broke down this consolidation given all of this, it actually did that. Maybe it provided another entry here, but as per my plan, I'm only taking the first entries near my areas of interest, and I was not interested in taking this long, just because there was no volume going on. It was just completely dead, no follow through, total chop, not even a proper range in which it's ranging. It's just total chop, and not my trade. Eventually it did end up reaching the target, but again, I'm not too focused on that. It's just 2 hours worth, 2.5 hours worth. I don't think it was worth the risk to hold this long given the nature of the day, even though I was not expecting a major sell-off. Yeah, good day, good trade. And then now coming to the NQ. NQ is where I had an even better trade opportunity, but I did not take it. I hesitated. And that was the reason when I was starting to hesitate in the ES, I just said, no, not going to do that. But basically the reason for the missed trade in NQ, or why I thought it was a setup in the first place, same idea, gap up open, just close the gap, immediately shoots up, provides a beautiful opportunity, no interest in going anywhere in the previous day's range, which is a very bullish case scenario. Of course, the most bullish will be just gap and go, but it's still ideal for the bulls to just close the gap but hold above it. And that's what we were getting here. It was just this beautiful entry, and then as the price was moving up, I was hesitating. I was double guessing, second guessing my ideas, even though I had valid confirmation. The Renko changed, the 5 minutes started to change. I just hesitated, and then as it was going up, it went up 10 points higher, and then I was not comfortable chasing it. So even if I had bought it 10 points higher, it would still have been a decent trade. But I'm happy I did not take it 10 points higher, because I have to follow the system, I have to follow the process, and I have to get better at not hesitating rather than hesitating and taking a trade every time 10 points higher, because that in the longer term would cost me much more. So things to improve. Of course, trust the analysis, trust your plan, and just think objectively of the market is telling you. The market is telling you it is not interested in trading within the previous day's range. Maybe more confidence for my plan, and next time I'll take it. And it did end up reaching target again, 2-1. The target made sense again because of the opening range, the volume shelf, and the VWAP. And then only 2 trades. Again, I was not interested in taking these longs here, even though these had valid. Again, this was a valid setup. Even flushed the previous lows by a little bit, but then the volume was completely dead. And at this point of time, I was in the ES trade anyway, so I wouldn't put risk on both ES and NQ, because that correlation is just too much. And if I were to lose, I would lose on both of them. Just makes no sense. Did end up working. Never got into the previous day's range, but this is the only trade that I considered miss, and hopefully we'll do better next time. Another good thing that I noticed today was the wicks, like how it was divergent intraday, but contextually it was not divergent. So sometimes I'm too hellbound on the intraday wicks movement. Today was a good day to realize, take a lesson, and understand that wicks is not the end all be all. It's at its confluence. It is a very good indicator, but it's not it's not the end of the world here. I'm just another piece of the puzzle. Regardless, good trading day, only made 5 points, but happy with how I followed the process. On to the next day. Thank you.